You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're driven.
There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you never got.
Okay, swag fans, we got a little something for you today with the swag Fantasy Daze. It's a symmetrical solid, and I've got some comparisons with some other swag pieces that I noticed when I first threw this ball hooked quite a bit, so I wanted to kind of see and compare to some of our other hooking stuff and maybe some of our other medium stuff and kind of get a little comparison on how much this ball hooks compared to other stuff. That question seems to come up a lot. And as you see there, we've got the OG Swag Incredible, one of our strongest balls we've ever made. We've got the Swag Show Me the Money, very, very strong ball. It's right up there with that Incredible, the OG Incredible. And we've got the newer Swag Incredible X. It's a same core, it's the Incredible core. It's ASIM Pearl, a little bit weaker, cleaner through the fronts. Got the Hip Star, which is another symmetrical solid, and that's I've got that ball, the Hip Star, laid out the exact same way as I've got the Fantasy Daze. I did that on purpose to try to mimic similar shapes between the two balls, and you'll get a chance to see that. And then I've got one of the hottest balls in my bag right now that I've been just killing it with is the Lane Masters Hellfire Flame. I've shot some pretty big scores, 780, 760, 816 I believe the other week. Lane Masters Hellfire Flame has been really good for me once I really got used to seeing what it could do. So anyway, we'll kind of go forward and get some looks at all of this. Okay, I'm going to start off here with the Show Me the Money. Just kind of warming up. I think this was my third shot here. And I did a little voiceover because when I was out there they had a lot of music playing, which would have caused problems with my video, and then all of the extra noise and the people next to me and everything else. So I figured I'd just decide to be able to have a better conversation. Yep, there's the Fantasy Daze. That's what we're going to be going over today. But I wanted to do the video where I could talk and everything be heard. So anyway, so there you go. We're starting off with the Show Me the Money with some shots. Like I said before, it's a pretty strong ball of ours. We made that a while back, and this ball's no slouch for sure. It's one of the strongest balls we've ever made, and that's just warming up. I'm really not catching the ball all the way. I'm not really hitting it as hard as I can yet, but I'm getting a little better. Moved a little left there. You can see the ball make its return there. That's that Show Me the Money. A lot of times I won't be taking that to league. It's just too much ball. I might be able to get away with it for one game, but there's no point in me bringing it to league because I'll have to put it away after game one anyway. So, but I did want to compare the Show Me the Money with the Fantasy Daze so I could get a good look at it. And I'm starting to warm up a little bit. Got a pretty good shot there. You can kind of see the motion that ball's giving me there. And another shot so you can get a really good look at it. Got it a little bit out there, still made the return. Obviously it's house pattern. Thank you, house pattern. Got a chance. Here's the Fantasy Daze, and did not stand a chance. So initial reaction to the ball, I didn't give that quite as much room as I did the last one where I missed a little right with the Show Me the Money. But you've seen on that ball there, if I didn't give it room, it stood no chance. It just read the lane. I tried standing in the same spot with the Fantasy Daze, and then I made a little move there. Still didn't get quite enough far enough inside and give it enough room. It still goes through the face. And once again, I'm just trying to compare the Show Me the Money with the Fantasy Daze. So move a little further left here, finally give it enough room, but now it's flat 10s, right? That's a strong ball and playing inside deep, so I've got to make some adjustments with that ball in order to get the 10 out, which I will eventually be able to do with this ball. But You can see the difference where I had moved left from the show me the money to get the Fantasy Daze to even get to the pocket. I'm inside there at least 3 or 4 boards from where I was with the show me the money, and that time I gave it a little too much room. So okay, I kind of find the happy medium between those two spots, and I should be getting pretty close. It's Fantasy Daze. I tell you what, the fantasy series, the original fantasy was the first swag ball that we came out with, and I really liked it. And then of course the Fantasy Star, there you see I made to the right move and got the ball to not only get to the pocket but get the 10 out. But the Fantasy Star was a second release with the Fantasy Core, and it was one of my favorite balls we've released ever, that Pearl version of that. So of course when they come out with another upgraded cover with the Fantasy Core, I was pretty intrigued. There's another 10 pin. Yeah, playing with a ball that strong inside, you definitely got to trick the ball a little bit sometimes to get the corners out. But you know, it's pretty easy to do with that ball. Here I switched over to the Fantasy or the Swag Hip Star, and you can see I stood in the same spot. I think I moved a couple of boards right actually in anticipation for it to hook less, and it still got like a light mixer in comparison to the Fantasy Daze. And the Hip Star is no slouch. The Hip Star will hook. There's another shot with the Hip Star, another little mixer. You can just tell by the shape that the Hip Star is giving me a little less movement, a little less hook. Like I said, the Hip Star is no slouch. I was bowling on fresh. I got lucky on Thursdays where they have a pair. They kind of keep fresh oil there. If I get there early enough, I can get it before anybody else does. So I'm bowling on fresh there, just a little added knowledge to that. Yeah, I made a little movement with the Hip Star, so you get a good chance to see the difference between what angles I have to play with the Fantasy Daze versus the Swag Hip Star. Fantasy Daze is definitely stronger. Another shot with the Fantasy Daze. You can see I had to move back left, and even that was too much. Too much hook right in that spot. Okay, I'm gonna show a little video of the OG Incredible, the red Incredible, the first Incredible came out with. As you can see, it's my opinion that the original Incredible might be the strongest ball we've ever made. You can see there, it did not, it just read the lane too early, started taking off too soon, so I definitely got to make an adjustment there. So I'll be moving a little left with it and take a look at what it does. Now, got a little further left, give it a little more room, and there you go. 8 pin, but of course, it's just a monster ball. You can see how much movement it gives me. I really like that ball. Once again, it sits in my garage most of the time. I take it to tournaments. Anytime I got really heavy oil, getting a problem with the ball, having a reaction, I know I can pull that ball out, and that's the strongest thing I got. So there you go, made another little move, got to round it a little extra, and then paid the price through the face. One thing about it, I knew the Incredible was going to be something I definitely wanted to pull out to compare the Fantasy Daze to kind of see and gauge how much the Fantasy Daze was able to keep up with the OG Incredible. And then there's the Fantasy Daze. You kind of see the difference there between that last shot that went through the face with the Incredible versus the Fantasy Daze there. Fantasy Daze just really drives through the pins nicely. Fall off balance, walk it off, and it's a strike. Thank you, house pattern and good equipment. Okay, made another little move with the Fantasy Daze here. You see I'm getting in pretty far. Like I said earlier, this was a fresh house pattern, and I'm the only one that's bowled on it. I've only bowled a total the whole day 5 games on it, and it's just me. This is probably like what, game 3-ish, 3.5. Switched over to the Incredible X. Tried to stand in the same spot as the Fantasy Daze. As you can see, no chance it's going to get back from that spot. Really like the Incredible X. Asymmetrical Pearl, but it's definitely a lot cleaner. It's not going to move as much anywhere even close to the Fantasy Daze. I think I even moved a little right when I threw that ball. It still didn't get there. Moved some more right, and you can see the difference there. It's a great ball. It's just not going to hook as much as the Fantasy Daze. And obviously, you're looking at the difference between a symmetrical and asymmetrical there, but it's just a weaker cover in the Incredible X. But great ball. I really like the Incredible X. I've had a lot of success with it. Use it in tournaments or late league or late tournaments. Sometimes I can, when I need it, still need an asymmetrical, but I need a cleaner cover. It's really good. Has another good look at the Fantasy Daze, another 10 pin. Like I said, when you're in there playing with something that strong, at least for me, I've got to trick it a little bit to get the corners out. A lot of times I'll just switch to something a little cleaner, like for example the Incredible X or something shinier. So that's a really good look. You see, as deep as I'm playing, it just goes right through the pins, you know? It's nice. You'll be able to see here, you know, if you don't give this ball room, like I don't give it room there, that's the penalty. You got to get left and you got to give it room. You do that and it's wonderful, but you don't do that, you're going to pay. You're going to have ugly stuff like that looking at you all night, and it's going to be no fun. Okay, here I switch over to my Hellfire Flame. As I was saying in the beginning of the video, it's a nice little break there. Some guy behind me laughing about that whenever I got that break. But he was saying earlier in the video that Hellfire Flame has been one of my hottest pieces of equipment that I've been using lately. Shot 800 with it a week or so ago. I've shot 760, 780, I think 790 with it. I know I've had some really big scores with it. When it's working well, it's comes at 3,000 or 4,000 finish, but it's a pearl symmetrical made by Lane Master's Hellfire Flame. Definitely highly recommend that ball. It's been a lot of fun to throw that ball lately. It just revs up. When it comes off of the spot, you can just see it rev up. They say a ball's got to slow down to strike it, and I'm sure it's doing that, but it seems like it's speeding up into the pocket, even though I'm sure it's not. There I left a little 10 pin. Trying to get that to work at least close to where the Fantasy Daze was, and it's just not as strong as the Fantasy Daze. Not even close in my opinion. Here I switch back to my Show Me the Money to kind of get another look at the comparison between where I've got to play with the Show Me the Money now that I'm all the way warmed up. I know earlier I wasn't quite warmed up with it. The Show Me the Money seems really close to the Fantasy Daze. I'm getting a little more movement out of the Fantasy Daze, but not much. And it seemed like I had a little more movement out of the original Incredible, but not by much. You see the Incredible here. I got way wide, and it still made it back. Okay, make a little switch back to Daze again, get another comparison to get a good look at the differences. And sure enough, I had to move left from where I was with some of the other stuff. Not the Incredible, of course, like as I was saying earlier, but then it just drives right through the pins. Really strong through the deck. Now, very nice. Push that 7 down. Yeah, rest of the video I just kept using the Fantasy Daze, get in deep, hook it, show you really what it can do. Look at that, ball's nuts. It's the Big Hookah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to let the rest play out. You'll be able to see several options of seeing it, get a good look at it. You can visit our website at californiabowlingllc.com for any of these prices. You can reach out to any staff member, ask questions, see if they can help you. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to. We always look forward to doing that. And if you want a bowl that hooks, a symmetrical solid that hooks, this does not disappoint. So I'll go ahead and let you watch the rest of the video, and until next time, get some swag in your bag. Alright, I'm out.